everyone, welcome back. Dr. Denise Series here. Today we're going to talk about taking steps to break the ties that bind you to your narcissistic abuser. Over the years, my coaching clients have really struggled with this more than probably any other thing that they've gone through. You have left the relationship, you are out of the relationship, you're moving on with your life, and yet there's something that keeps you bound to this person, keeps you wondering about this person, keeps you fearing that you might run into this person. And so the ghost of this bad relationship can continue to haunt you for many years unless you take active steps to break the ties that bind you to this individual. There's a couple simple things that I want you to keep in mind here. The first is, it's just about guaranteed that the narcissist at some point is going to swoop back around and try to bring you back in, try to get you emotionally connected or emotionally upset again. And this is within your control more than anything else of, am I going to let this happen? Am I going to leave space for this person to come back into my life, to put their toe in the door, hold it open, and let that toxicity back into my life? So to break the ties that bind, if you think first, you have to create a physical safe space for yourself. And that is done by no contact. If you share children with this person, then think of no contact as no contact except logistical things about the kids. Anything else, rip the Band-Aid off. First thing, stop looking at social media. If their number is in your phone and it has a picture, delete the picture. If the person can contact you by text message, by email, by voicemail, you name it, block all means of communication. There are many great software applications and different ways that if you're co-parenting, you can communicate in a way that there's a record that can help to keep it targeted just to the kids. So if you are serious about breaking the emotional ties that bind you to your abuser, the very first thing is cut all contact. It's almost like driving by a tragic accident on the side of the road. It's awful. It's painful. Our heart goes out to whoever might be involved in it. We don't want to see, and yet somehow we look. Very similar with, say you're blocking voicemail messages and one day you think, I wonder if there's any messages there. I wonder if there are. I want to go back and look. Make a commitment to yourself right now that you will not listen, that you will not communicate with this person. Oftentimes coaching clients ask me, what do I do when I run into them? You know, we live in a fairly small town, or he or she knows where I go. What do I do? You have control. You do not need to engage in niceties. You don't need to have bad energy, but this person you are releasing. Don't reconnect. You go by many people on the streets. You walk by many people to and from the grocery store. You don't feel like you have to stop and greet them and tell them or answer questions or anything else. So you have a lot of choices. You can just keep right on walking. You can completely ignore them. You can act like you didn't see them. You can create a space for yourself in many, many different ways. But you do not have to engage in niceties. If you do, this master manipulator will do everything they can do to draw you back in, to tell you about who they're dating, to tell you about what's going on, to say, hey, you know, we ought to have a drink or whatever. It's a hook. Don't bite. Don't take it. They don't exist. When you do no contact, you release this person physically. Once you release the person physically, then you begin the emotional work to break those ties. I've talked in previous videos about forgiveness. And forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is not validating bad behavior, hurtful behavior. Forgiveness simply means that you are going to give yourself the gift of letting go, of not seeking any closure from the other side. You don't need it. You provide your own closure. So forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself because you release that tie, you release the connection to your abuser, you release and relinquish any power that they may have had over you previously. So breaking the ties that bind begins with that physical boundary that we call no contact. So many questions come up from coaching clients about no contact and what you do in different situations. If you've got tons of questions about what you should do, you may not be tightening up that boundary hard enough. I have a video course that's available that will walk you through these steps, walking through the confusion stage. Do I stay? Do I go? Walking through when you have that enough is enough decision and yet then feel still stuck to leave. The aftermath of what happens once you've left, the rebuilding, the healing, the reconnecting with self and others, and moving on to the triumphant, joyful life that you deserve. So begin with the physical boundary, and then let's start to focus on the emotional work. I am available for one-on-one coaching. I do have the video course available. Lots of different ways that you can get support and help that you need. But do whatever is necessary. Promise yourself that you're going to get the support, that you have someone who understands, who can hold you accountable, who can keep you moving forward, because those ties that bind you are more within your control than you may realize at this point. So thanks for tuning in. I will look forward to seeing you back again.